Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coach Podcast. I welcome every single one of you to the COA Discord Ultimate Weekly Podcast. Tonight, let the music give the vibe. Tonight, I have the honor of receiving once again my old guest in 2 weeks ago, the podcast captain, and a special guest being his dad. Gentlemen, please say hello to everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Great way of saying hello. Also here with us tonight, we got Undead Gamer.
What's up?
What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up, dude?
And always here with us, we got Griffin and Tech Support. Gentlemen, everybody's watching us live right now. Don't forget to send your questions and show support to the COA Coach Live Podcast that goes live every Saturday, 7 p.m. Central for all of you guys' joy. So, okay, let's start this. Gentlemen, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you guys. Let's start with... why not? Captain.
Okay.
Well, you've been through this.
Captain,
you know the drill.
I know the drill. I did this last time. I'm a YouTuber. I do a lot of crazy shenanigans with my friends. We like to record Call of Duty, Overwatch, you name it. Anything on Xbox One, we're on it. Yeah, I'm here to have a good time and hopefully get famous off of this, so...
Get famous off
of this. Alright, Father, it's your turn.
No, come on. Tell us a little bit more about your channel. I'm not done with you yet, boy.
Go into more detail, bro.
I do a lot of Gmod stuff on the side, like with we play Prop Hunt all the time, or Murder. I usually just try to have a good time and play with anybody and anyone who wants to. I love my subscribers, all 105 of them.
Cool. So I'm trying something different tonight, so I'm introducing the users right now to some of the footage from your channel. So right now, everybody that is watching your YouTube's channel trailer.
Awesome, okay.
Cool. So come on, tell us a little bit more about it. What do you do in your
trailer?
channel, buddy? Yeah, I mean, what do you do in your channel?
Well, you want to just talk about the trailer, or?
No, it's your call.
Hey, man, that's your channel.
Well, the trailer we did, it was with the first two you see, Major and my best friend, Justin, or as if you do watch my content, McNinja. And we basically, it took me a whole hour to edit, but it took us a couple hours to get everyone ready for it. It had basically almost all my friends in there. I had people from... It had Goose in it. I was trying to get a couple of my friends to do it, but they were fortunately not on. But it was one hell of a time. I like what I'm doing. It's
You're gonna have to excuse my ignorance.
The editing.
But what game
the
is
editing's
that?
pretty hard. I'm getting better at it. I'm hoping I get more subs and.
Sorry again. You're gonna have to excuse my ignorancy because I don't know which game is that.
What game?
The game that's playing in your trailer.
There's a few that play in the trailer. Which one? The first one?
The last one. Because I'm like 3 minutes inside the trailer, so.
Okay, well, it starts out with Destiny, then goes over to Minecraft, Overwatch, Battlefield, and Skyrim, and then Gary's Mod.
Skyrim. Okay, Captain Dad, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 45 years old. I would classify myself as a classic gamer. Basically, I suck at all the games that he's good at. I'm kind of more of the comic relief than anything else at this point. I play Call of Duty with him. What are some other ones we play? Just Cause 3. I like to Skyrim.
You are in his channel?
And do I watch his? Yeah, I do.
No. Are you in his channel? Have you made any collaborations?
No.
Wait, why is that?
That would be a faux pas. I don't know. Why is that? How come you never invited me to play?
Oh,
that's a good question.
Oh,
shame, dude. Shame.
Shame him.
He's embarrassed of me. That's why.
Yeah, come on.
Shame him.
Okay, how do you feel with your son becoming a YouTuber?
I do my best to try to encourage it, actually. He needs to have an outlet of creativity. I've listened to a lot of his content. There's parts in there and there's videos that I'm not going to say I'm necessarily proud of. But,
My parents would probably feel the same way about me.
Names.
He has a right to express himself, and anything that he can do in order to achieve that expression, I'm all for it. So
Let's talk about you, Will.
Oh, that can
Here's
also
the
be
inappropriate
true.
thing of my channel.
I'm not in your channel. What are
encourage
you
him.
talking about? Did you
No, you're good.
Okay, Undead Gamer. You're gonna have to get inside your channel now.
Yeah. I am a small YouTuber hoping to get bigger. I enjoy what I do. I play Destiny, Watch Dogs 2, Dark Souls 3. I'm open to a lot of games that if people suggest, I might look at them, play them. Most of my channel is like built on Destiny montages, and then I've more recently opened to making videos on different games, and probably gonna make a lot of videos on Destiny 2. I've just started playing the beta, so I enjoy that kind of game.
So we're watching your trailer right now. Tell us a little bit about it.
I honestly haven't watched it in a while, so kind of forgot what's in it. It's probably all Destiny.
Yeah, it's a Destiny montage. It's called Small Montage 1.
Hold on, let me go to my thing real quick. I forgot what it is.
Suit yourself.
Oh, I think it's mostly like sniping and stuff, isn't it?
I guess so. You're doing a good job with snipers over here.
Yeah.
Volume. Where's there no audio on your trailer? Oh no.
There is. There should be. I think I
is.
put music in it.
Yeah, there it is. No, there's no music. It kind of have to the end. There's no music. Well, now there's a little bit of music.
It's up to you now.
Okay. So, why did you become a YouTuber, buddy?
Honestly, I play a lot of games and I enjoy, playing Xbox, and I thought, why not show people like that kind of what I do is fun, and maybe they could get into it too. And also like bigger YouTubers
Do you got
inspired
a
me
video
to kind
that
of
you
do.
think people might think it's interesting to watch right now? Something that you recommend?
Like
In your
games
channel?
or like
No, in
or
your
like
channel.
on my channel.
Yep.
I think one of my favorite videos on my channel would have to be one of the No Land montage for Destiny.
Yeah, give me one in specific.
Let me look. I forgot exactly what it's called. Either the Destiny montage 4, which is the No-Am montage, like the first time I got the No-Am Beyond in Destiny, or my
What's the name of the video?
it's Destiny montage number 4, No-Am Beyond montage.
Number 4.
Either that or the Destiny 1v1 fun Stormcaller versus Sunsinger.
Got it.
I had a lot of fun making that one because it was my friend and I. We were both doing a 1v1 on a huge map. We were in the same class but different subclasses. I enjoyed doing that with him.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you would say like Destiny is your favorite game to make videos on?
I mean, honestly, I've kind of gotten tired of it because I've been playing it for a while. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun to play with my friends.
What are you playing to play right
now? When Destiny 2 comes out, I'll be playing that. Probably make some more videos on Dark Souls 3 and a couple more on Watch Dogs 2.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Cool. Captain, come on, your turn. Give us something.
Like what do you want to know?
I want to know which video you would recommend to our audience.
The hide and go seek one. That one's hilarious.
Name.
That's my favorite.
That's his favorite. I guess the hide and go seek. It's the hide and go run away. That's I think it's
Oh, hide and run
that
away.
was like the funnest I had, and that was the first collaboration I did.
With who you did the collaborations with?
Left for Cake, Rune Soldiero, and I did it with a friend I met on some 1942 roleplay, Dad Master Rounds. But
Oh, you were ready in COA then.
I think that's when I got right into COA. Yeah.
Cool. So what do you guys think of CLA, by the way?
I love it. The people are nice, you know. There's a lot of different parts of it that people,
A lot
you know,
of people.
you can get, like, people sub to your channel, you sub to them. You get a
Oh,
lot of
no,
support.
Yeah, come on, guys. Support and
You
exposure.
can help people out,
Yep.
watch their videos, enjoy their content.
Okay. So, you guys all know what's the content of tonight, right? We're gonna be all in classic 90s games. Not 90th, 90s games. So, gentlemen, does any of you know anything about... Let's start from the start. You guys know the music that is playing right now.
No.
Well, that's from Space Channel 5, one of the first rhythm games from the 90s. Seriously, guys, never heard of it?
No, I'm not even that old, so.
Not even you, Dad?
Nope.
Oh, come on, guys. Okay.
I mean, I might know a little bit about that kind of games, because, you know, I played PS1 and Super Nintendo, so.
Okay, so which one is your favorite classic game? Let's start from...
You go first, Dad. Go first.
The original Tomb Raider.
Oh, that was
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Like
I
the
love
original-
that game.
Boobs.
I was gonna say the same thing.
For me, the only Morrowind. Elder Scrolls.
Morrowind?
Yeah, Morrowind.
Well, Morrowind's not actually a classic game if you're gonna think about it.
Hush up, William. It's classic to me.
Well, oh, come on.
It's
How
on your
about you?
generation.
How about you, Undead?
I was actually gonna say the original Tomb Raider as well. I played that a lot. I love it. I actually still have it too.
Let's try going a little bit back in time then. Something from the early 90s? Does any of you guys were alive back then? I know Dad
Nope.
was.
I wasn't.
Early mid '90s would be Donkey Kong Country.
Which one?
Country, where it's got you can switch between the dad ape and the junior ape, and you go through the jungle and all the different scenes.
So,
I'm pretty sure it was Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, there's Donkey
like
Kong
that
Country
one.
1, 2, and 3. That's why I asked.
One, obviously.
I would go for 2, 100%. You guys know what that game is, right? Captain, don't disappoint me in this. You know what DKC is, don't you?
The what?
DKC, Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3.
I don't know. I think I played one on the Wii, but
Yeah, I don't think there was a version on the Wii of any of the Donkey Kong countries.
There is a Donkey Kong Country.
there's a Donkey Kong Country on the Wii.
I have it on the Wii.
Yeah.
Because I have it.
So, okay, Captain, which was your favorite game from the early 90s? Let's call it that, if you ever played any of those.
Wasn't even born.
Me neither.
Doesn't mean he didn't play it.
What was like one from their Mortal Kombat, the first one? I don't know.
Yeah, that was one. Was
Tekken.
pretty good.
Tekken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tekken was in early
Like-
90s.
Yeah, we played Tekken in the PlayStation 1.
Did we?
Hmm?
Oh.
Tekken 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur was pretty good as well. But I mean, all of those are like what? PlayStation 1, I guess it's 1996. So once again, it's not really the early 90s. Anything from, let's say, from the Super Nintendo. I mean, I can...
Super
Sega
Nintendo. I have
Saturn.
a Super Nintendo.
So
I play I played Mario on the Super Nintendo.
which Mario?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. I don't remember. I haven't played it in a while since I've gotten
Is
into
that the
Xbox.
Super Mario where you can like beat the game in 7 minutes if you know all the shortcuts and the underground levels?
Probably, but
There's
I
two
never
that are kinda
bothered
like
to know all
that.
those.
You guys ever play Duck Hunt?
Of course, I played Duck Hunt.
Game was awesome.
Hunt's my shit.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, one of my favorites if I would like to, if I can even say that, one of my favorite characters from the Super Smash Brothers, the new one from the Wii U, is actually Duck Hunt.
I have the one on the Wii, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. I have that one. I used to play that a lot, but I don't know if I have the one on the Wii U.
Yeah, I don't think Duck Hunting's in that one. How about even before that, boys? You have any idea what, for example, the early Pac-Mans are, or Doom, or Wolfenstein, the original Wolfensteins?
Even before computer gaming came out, there was the Atari 2600, and that's kind of where I started.
Well,
we played Adventure, Air Sea Battle. There's a motocross one. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Give me a name.
Dirt Bike or something like that.
Dirt Bike for the Atari?
Yeah. Like the original Atari 2600, where you had to jostle the switches in order to work right.
Wow, I actually found it. Let's see if we can... Wow, it looks... I'm not going to say that it looks terrible. It doesn't. But it's weird. I mean, what exactly were you supposed to do?
In which one?
I just forgot the name of it.
Excite Bike. That was the name of the bike one. Excite Bike.
1982. 84.
Yeah.
So what's the whole point?
Is that when he got punched by that?
No.
Oh.
The thing is about the games that are back then, I mean, considering there was like 8 pixels on the television that you had to deal with instead of like a million, it had to be very, very simple graphics. So I remember in Air Sea Battle, we played that one all the time, but you would play guns that were at the bottom of the screen and you would have to shoot planes that would pass by, or be a submarine on top of the water and drop bombs to boats underneath. And it was very, very simplistic. The bullets that you shot was just a huge pixel going across the screen. But in that time, we didn't have online gaming. We didn't have all the stuff that you guys have these days. It was, you invite all your friends over to your house and you gather around the Atari and you spend 8 hours just doing nothing but gaming and munching on chips.
We still do that.
But you do it all online.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, who would
you
invite people to
most
their
people
house?
do.
I know.
But that's the difference between the gaming now and as opposed to the gaming when I was a kid, is you guys can be in touch with each other a lot more. You can play with people from Australia, people from Great Britain, people from Spain. I could never do that. And you forge friendships and you make connections with people, and you're not just talking about games, you're learning other cultures. You're the things that come in between when the game's loading or when you're developing your character. You're talking about things that are only British people know or only Australian people know. To me, that's an incredible advancement in gaming that we didn't have when we were kids.
Half the time we just talk about random stuff, though. It's not even like...
Right, but even that random stuff, you learn about each other's cultures.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even realize it, but you do.
I learned that from I play with a British guy, Alex, and he always has tea time. And here we don't have tea time. I never, I thought it was weird. I thought it was like, I thought it's like stereotypical British thing, is tea time. He actually has tea time. He actually drinks tea. I didn't know that. And so my first time I met this guy, I didn't know it was like, that also means it's dinner time. It's tea time. I thought that was really cool.
But see, none of that stuff would happen without gaming. Yeah. So that's how the gaming industry has, in my mind, I mean, I know there was a time, I don't even know if it's still an issue anymore, about how games are violent, turning people into serial killers and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's so anymore. Dumb. It doesn't even happen.
I know there was that time, but that was during the transition when games were becoming a lot more graphic because the technology had advanced to the point where instead of a giant pixel going across the screen as your bullet, it actually looked like a real round going down range, and you had the first person shooter thing. So the technology advanced, but I think our culture advanced as well. And I think, in my mind anyway, seeing the evolution of gaming from the early 80s till now, it's a huge advancement in what they bring not only to the entertainment of gaming, but also to the culture of the generation.
What do you think was the first kind of like symbolic change in video game that you saw?
The PlayStation 1. hands down. Everything up until that point was a cartridge that you had to basically try to finagle. Yeah,
you had to blow on it.
Super Nintendo. Every time I put a new cartridge in, and I had to blow the dust out of it.
And why that works, I have no idea. But that's the only way that you could get the stupid thing to. So when the PlayStation
put it in,
came
and
out,
it
all of a
wouldn't
sudden
work.
these things were on discs. And it's like, what the hell is this? It plays a video game on this?
Oh, I remember I played Driver on the PlayStation 1. I remember playing the Driver. I remember played Bomberman. I love Bomberman.
But what was what was the game console prior to the PlayStation 1 release? What was the most advanced console out there at the time? Super NES? NES? Things like that?
I guess. I mean, there were a lot of...
And you look at the graphics of the games that they had versus the original games on the PlayStation. To me, it was just like mind-blowing.
Well, it was kind of all a... it was kind of like a lot of companies going together trying to make a different engine for where people could go beyond the simple scaling of games in 16 beats, I guess. If I'm not mistaken, the PlayStation actually came after Philips tried to make a deal, I don't really remember with whom, to develop a game that would be compatible with almost any kind of, I don't know, different sorts of engines that people would create. I guess this was when they developed the CGI or something like that. I mean, you're probably saying a lot of stupid shit, but I remember reading a little bit about that. Did you ever came across the CGI?
Do what?
The CGI was a Philips console that became a little bit before the PlayStation 1.
Nope, never heard of that one.
Well, it was a piece of shit. Glad that you never hear about that.
That's probably why. Kind of like the GameCube.
No, way worse than the GameCube. I mean, way worse.
Oh, I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, no.
That CGI. Okay, so can you tell me, like, a symbolic game, for instance, after the 80s, something around the start of the 90s, because I know a lot of things change when people start introducing gaming to 16 beats or three-dimensional perspectives, kind of like Doom or Wolfenstein. So this is why I'll always ask, because I guess a lot of people got a little bit impressed with different titles that started coming out. For example, the first Mortal Kombat, even in the arcade versions, or what they presented with games that had a lot of different layers and sets of colors and that kind of thing. So, for instance, do you think that for like the Super Nintendo or the first Nintendo console was a big change in the game community, in the game environments, if in comparison with the Atari, for example?
I think it was a huge step forward, simply because it was going from a 8-bit system to a 16-bit system to a 32-bit system, 64-bit system. I mean, it just kept the graphics and the technology just kept advancing. And it was always, every time a new console came out since the Atari 2600, you're talking about the Intellivision, the ColecoVision, the NES, the Super NES. It was always just moving forward and just one step at a time to try to outdo whatever was current on the market. It wasn't, I think, until the PlayStation came out that was the game changer. That was completely redesigning, completely reimagining what gaming could do and the experience that gamers could have. So even though we had an NES system, we would still go back and play our ColecoVision every now and then. Even though we had our Super NES, we'd still go back and play with our NES. But once we got the PlayStation, it was, you don't turn back from something like that.
So which PlayStation 1 games would you recall as being the best, or the ones that were special for you?
The original Tomb Raider is by far number one. Because I played that game relentlessly. Tiger Woods PGA was one. Just the gameplay and the immersion of it was something that you didn't have before. I'm not a big golfer by any means, but the fact that I could see that and the graphics at the time, it felt like you were on a course. And me, that was just, you never saw that before. So that was one that I played a lot. Soul Calibur, Tekken, Street Fighter. Remember any of the others?
Yeah, but again, the Street Fighter, for example, there was versions of it back in the Super Nintendo. Or again, that I mentioned the Mortal Kombat or all the other sort of engine. If I would say no, but come on, I mean, for instance, like Crash Bandicoot, or which else was really big in the PlayStation platform? Like, I guess the most game of the Sony franchise, I guess like Spyro or any one of those. I don't think you played a lot of those, did you?
No. I played Spyro.
I played Spyro, yeah.
Played a little bit of Spyro.
Yeah, Spyro was kind of a big
I had no idea what I was doing, but I played it.
You played Spyro back in the PlayStation 1 era?
Well, I mean, I played it on the original Nintendo DS, but...
Same. Nintendo DS.
Yeah.
Was there Spyro for the Nintendo DS? Well, the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 1 was my first generation of gaming, for me in particular. Even because was kind of where I was born anyway. So, but after that, if we could put it that way, so what would you say after that? Do we had any big changes? Any big transactions? I mean, people still play the PlayStation 1 till this day, I think.
I still play it when I can. I mean, I play it.
So what do you think, Captain's dad?
You're being asked all the questions. I mean,
we still have a PlayStation 1 that I look at every now and then, maybe once every 2 or 3 years. But it's, I don't want to say that I've moved on because I don't feel like I have. But it's just not the same as when I played it back when I was a teenager in my early 20s. So it's nice to kind of reminisce and kind of, oh yeah, I remember doing that. But I don't play it. I don't sit down and do the marathon like I used to anymore.
It's old age.
I actually don't even have mine plugged in anymore, I don't think.
I feel like you moved on. You play Far Cry Primal now. You play Far Cry 3.
Well, Far Cry Primal is not that far away from the PlayStation 1 era. In my opinion.
But I'm more of a PC gamer than I am anything else.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a good
PC Masquerade.
Oh my god, out.
Classic PC games.
I don't even have a good PC.
Classic PC.
I have a MacBook. I try to play.
My first PC game that I bought, I was, I think, 10 or 11, and it came on a 5 1/4-inch floppy disk.
A floppy disk?
Yes.
That's ancient.
I kid you not. It was some kind of Samurai Ninja platform gamer where he just ran across the stage and ninjas would come at him and he would try to fight them. It was made by Broderbund.
Broderbund?
Never
heard that company.
Never heard that company before in my life.
Yeah, nobody has. It's so freaking old. But but that's how PC gaming started out. Was you had this big honking 5 1/4 floppy disk that you would stick in and you would grind away and load up your game forever. And then they went to the CD-ROM games that we have now.
After that? The whole
no, but what I do remember is they came out with these nifty little devices called DVD writers. Mm-hmm. So instead of paying $50 for a game, I would talk to all my buddies and we'd chip in $5 each, and I would make 10 copies of it, and we would all have our own copy of the game.
Oh, the name of that is piracy, by the way.
And that's where piracy was born. Very good. At the time, there was no laws because the technology was so new. We didn't know that would ended up being illegal. I don't do that anymore, obviously, but at the time, I mean, this was This would have been early 90s, I think. So this was even before the internet came around.
Let me understand something. You used to pay $50 for a floppy disk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But keep in mind, the PC itself was like $3,000. Yeah.
Damn. That was what, in 1975?
Yeah, 81.
Jesus
ish.
Christ. I guess the
Dude.
first... I know, I understand. I'm sorry. I don't want to make you feel old or anything.
No, I get it. You look at all the classic ads and stuff like that. Yeah, PCs were going for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
It's like dropping.
And for a whopping 8 megabytes of memory.
My parents won't even spend $500 on a PC for me. Like,
right? Because and that. What the hell do they call that? The rule where every year it doubles. I forget what
inflation.
No.
Inflation. I don't
know. No. I forget what it has to do with technology. It's like the technology standards every year will double. They'll get twice as good as what they were last year. So
I don't think it's the case anymore. I mean, nowadays.
No, it's not. It's plateaued. That's the thing, is that theory held true through the 90s, through the early 2000s, but since probably about 5-10 years ago, its technology has plateaued. So you don't see a whole lot. I think the only place that you actually start seeing it is in like flash drives. Before, you were paying $100 for a 64 gig flash drive. Now you pay $100, you're going to get a 128 gig flash drive. You can probably even find a 256 gig flash drive for $100 anymore. So nowadays, the technology starting to plateau.
Yeah, well, nowadays people got a 20 megabyte internet in their houses.
Right.
Yeah, which back in the day, people would be happy if they had one. I mean, even way less than that. I don't want to, once again, make one of those big journeys to the past, but if you would be so kind, what was the speed of your first internet connection? If that was even a thing back then.
Dial-up, 56K.
Wow.
Dang.
That was back when you had to, I don't even know if you guys know what these phones even look like anymore, but you had to pick the phone up off the receiver and put it into these 2 foam cups.
What?
And that's how the internet talked to it, was through the receiver and the microphone to the phone.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Can you explain to us a little bit about that?
God, it's the hardest thing to explain, but
that sounds like. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think you need to explain it. I think it's a long story, and this is.
It is. But that's how you connected to the internet, and it was with a thing called CompuServe, which at the time was the only way that you could connect to the internet.
It's like the starting of Comcast.
No,
God,
this is the starting of the internet. But basically, that's how we would connect, and we would only do that for financial transactions. We wouldn't do it for anything other than that. So, and then it wasn't until 95, 94.
Don't look at me. I don't know.
That the internet started off.
Me, though.
Yeah, I got no idea. I was alive in 94, but that was it.
I was a senior in college in 94.
Well, I'm really proud of you, sir. I salute you.
Tell that one story, or that gaming story.
So I was playing Legend of Zelda on the NES.
The first Legend of Zelda?
Yes, the original one. Like the top down, the Zelda's like
the
big.
platform.
But I got all the way to the end, and I was trying to beat the final boss, and I had spent literally months getting to where I was getting. And the game would keep saving, and everything was fine. And I got to the final boss, and had a hard time trying to beat him. And I remember I just decided to call it quits for the night. Everything was fine. Came in the next morning, went to go turn it on, and all my saved games were gone. I had to start all over from scratch. And instead of just starting from the beginning,
why was that?
I got really pissed off. and I broke the game. I just cracked it in half because I was so pissed.
You know, I guess the first original Legend of Zelda, I guess, was probably the only Legend of Zelda that I never truly played. I mean, I played a little bit, but I never played it enough to consider it really playing it. Was it a good game, though?
It was. I thought it was fun. It had a good storyline. The only games that I didn't like were the ones that I take 3 from you and you take 2 from me, and then I 3 from me, and
what games?
I can't remember.
What games are like that?
Parasite Eve.
What?
Parasite Eve.
Parasite.
You guys ever heard of that one?
No, but I'm
Google
searching. What's Parasite?
Parasite Eve.
Let's see. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about it.
That was one of the games that I played all the time, and that was one of the games that I couldn't put down, but it was one of those where whenever you'd have an attack, it wouldn't be an actual attack where you can swing a sword and block, and it's fast-paced actions. It's initiate attack now, and then you initiate the attack, and then it's he takes 3 from you, you take 2 from him. He takes
in those
1998.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was a horror game.
Yeah.
Because you had to get mitochondria or something.
Mitochondria?
Yeah, that was the key to the game.
The powerhouse of the cell is always the key.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was it a Star Wars spinoff or something? But it was fun. I remember playing that one.
It looked like a pretty fun game. So how about then, since we're in it, how about classic horror games?
Will PM?
Yep. Do we have a PM right now? Ah, shit. I'm not, the proper image is not set. Okay, no, it's set. Everybody could see my desktop there for a second. Oh, we got a donation. Thank you so much for Green Ruseda for giving us a $5 donation. Thanks to the COA, you have been very welcoming to me. If you could, my kind user, can you send us a question or a question to our guests? Let's see if anything happens. Gentlemen, back to horror games.
I think the scariest game for me was still Morrowind. I was like 6 or 7 at the time, and there were certain areas of the game where I know.
Morrowind?
Yeah, or went to. It was mostly an area around the. You ever play Morrowind? There's a giant whole plague that's sweeping the land. So they have a giant gate. I knew never to go past that gate.
Well, I don't really do remember Morrowind all that much.
I just remember there were like zombies in there, and there was stuff I was really scared of.
Cool. Well,
you would have to always help me with the cheats, Dad. You're always like, because I didn't remember the cheats.
Jump wicked high.
Yep. Not until Oblivion I actually started remembering.
Well, if that was the case, I would consider my first horror game, which of course is not, it will be Link to the Past, which for some reason I was really scared of the Lost Woods because of all the thieves and stuff. I personally never really liked that part.
If we're like talking about like actual horror games.
Yeah, we're talking about actual horror games.
Outlast. Probably Outlast. First one I got.
Outlast. Who was watching my trailer there? Come on, guys. The original Outlast. Oh, that was a recent one. Hey, Captain Dad. Undead Gamer, come on, give us your favorite horror game then. A classic one. Let's try to bring in a little bit.
I didn't really play horror games from them.
But didn't you play any horror games at all?
I don't really play many horror games, honestly.
How about you, Captain Dad? Tell us a little bit about your horror stories. I mean, I don't know what your name's, but
I'm in the same boat as Undead. I never got into horror games. I like the action games better. So I never really played horror games. I've seen my son play them a lot, but I don't play them.
So, Captain, besides Outlast, do you have anything a little bit more classic to tell us a little bit about? From the horror gender. Let me give you some examples. Kind of like I don't know. House of the Dead. How about that? Really, really old one. I guess it was
I
actually...
played anything that, God.
Trying to?
Primal Fear?
Primal Fear? Sounds like right.
I
would play
know
Primal
that
Fear.
game. Primal Fear. From which platform?
I played Bomberman. I love...
Bomberman is not a horror game, dude.
I don't care. It's in my heart.
We never played those.
We never had that.
When did that genre even start?
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Good one.
Resident Evil.
Good one.
I have played a little bit of Resident Evil Biohazard, but that's like current.
Which Resident Evil?
Well, Parasite Eve.
Biohazard.
Oh yeah, that
Parasite
counts.
Eve is a really good game. Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3.
7.
I need to play Resident Evil.
Well, Resident Evil 7. Well, in comparison, then again, I'm gonna have to go for the original classic games. Because if I was to say all the Resident Evils after 4, for me, and I'm a big Resident Evil fan, they're pretty much garbage. Like all of them.
I like 7.
A lot of,
I mean, the little bit that I played of it, but 7? I haven't really played it. Yeah.
They said 7 really brought the series back.
I mean, no.
I know a lot of people like to beg to differ, but I haven't played it for myself. I need to. But I've seen gameplay of it, and it looks great. It looks scary.
Well,
I like the DLCs of it.
Resident Evil. Well, I enjoy, I guess, the 21 DLC. I guess
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill was enough.
Silent Hill. I remember that one.
Oh, Pyramid Head, man.
Yeah, Pyramid Head. I mean, compared to Nemesis from Resident Evil 3, I mean, he's more fry, but whatever. But then again, if you look at Resident Evil 7, for instance, when I first played it, I had a lot of expectations in the game because a lot of people were saying that kind of bring the franchise back. But I guess the approach in the early 90s or late 90s horror games was a little bit more around the tension of the game than like actual gore or that other sort of horror. And Resident Evil 7, if you look at it, it goes a little bit more around the gore and blood and dismembering than actual silence and loud noises. It's not that it's a bad game. It's not a bad game at all.
The best horror games are the one I think don't show the creature at all.
That can also be true. I mean, I personally really enjoyed Slenderman, if I could talk about that. Well, this might be another topic for a future podcast. We could talk a little bit about horror games. Let me see this, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we have a question. Griffin, these are not actual questions. Just saying.
Just letting you know what's being said, man.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Okay. Moving on.
It's funny because no one on the Twitch side can hear me talking, so I can just sit here and talk and like interrupt, but
yeah, nothing is happening, everybody. Nothing is happening. So, okay, fans. Usual questions from the podcast since we're moving on. Let us hear a little bit about your guys' favorite games. Let's start with Undead Gamer.
Does it have to be just from like any time?
Yeah, anytime. We can talk
current
about
or-
pretty much anything right now.
At the moment, I would have to say my favorite game, like right now, would probably either be Watch Dogs 2 or like Dark Souls 3.
I need to play Dark Souls 3. Reasons.
It's fun.
Reasons.
I don't know. I enjoy playing them. I really like the storyline with Dark Souls 3 and like the bosses and how hard it is, because you know a lot of games are really easy to beat, but that one's an actual challenge.
Oh yeah.
So you don't beat it in like a couple, like the first day that you play it. So it's a game that you can play for a while and still enjoy it.
Yeah, Dark Souls 3 may be hard, but it's not like it's Crash Bandicoot hard. Captain, you already told me your favorite game last time, so change it a little bit, will you?
Okay. I've really fallen in love with what's called is Overwatch. Overwatch has to be my favorite game right now.
You said that in the previous podcast.
I thought you said Skyrim.
I don't even remember. But Overwatch's kind of an overall favorite, so...
I guess Oblivion then.
Good call. Also think you said it in the previous podcast as well, but whatever. Captain Dad.
Probably right now it's Far Cry 3. And the reason is because I can keep going back to it and I can just reset the game and just keep playing. I like to challenge myself at each one of the outposts to see if I can do it without triggering alarms, sniping everybody without being shot, sniping people with grenades, that kind of stuff. It's an individual thing, but I'm kind of excited for Far Cry 5 coming out, so see what that yields.
Reminds me of 007 GoldenEye from the N64.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now you guys remember the classic games, don't you? You know, that's the problem with you people.
If I can tell this story,
Sure.
we had set Far Cry. I had Far Cry 3 on the Xbox 360. He had it on the PC. And one day we decided to do a little competition, and the loser had to mow the lawn. So we had set up, and our goal was to get to the same tower in the fastest amount of time. And what did you do? You didn't know how to get up there.
It was the stupid tower that you had to like jump off of a cliff to land like halfway up it in order to scale the rest of the way. It was
See,
dumb.
he didn't know that, and I did. And he had to mow the lawn.
Yeah, that's what we call
You're
father.
proud of that one, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
That's great patterns and bounding right over there.
See, my dad doesn't play games with me.
Yeah, my dad doesn't play games with you, buddy. You know, that's a pretty lucky thing you guys got over there. So,
that would be my question to you guys. What do your parents think of you guys doing this?
What? YouTube?
Well, the YouTube and as much gaming is, I don't know how often you spend time gaming, but are they?
My entire weekend is
encourage it?
Xbox. I don't even think my dad knows I have a YouTube channel, but honestly,
I can't really say my parents care, but once again,
I don't think my mom cares.
Yeah.
I know the stream.
Yep.
I feel like I want to answer this question as well. The Twitch can't hear me, but your side can hear me, Will.
Okay.
I've always been a gamer, and I've always been into technology, and my parents were okay with that because both of my brothers would play games too, not to the extent that I have. But once, like, I started playing Counter-Strike, and I played in tournaments, and I was making money off of it. So when my mom saw that I could, make a living or, make money on the side using it, and also having it as an outlet and then learning how to do Photoshop and doing that, as a side job while working other jobs or while I was in school, she was okay with it.
Until this point, what do you think?
Up until now, I mean, I work a full-time job and I play games on the side, so.
But do you think that it will be okay if you start playing games as a full-time job? Because that's the whole point, isn't it?
I mean, really, when it comes to a certain age, the way that I see it and the way that I've dealt with it with my mom, she didn't understand it at first, and I explained it to her. And once they have that knowledge of this could potentially become a job, then they're okay with it. And the way I see it from my mom, if I'm happy, then she's happy. And I think that's the same for Cap Dad over there.
Yeah. It'll be awesome if all parents' mindset will go around that. So, Undead Gamer, Mind
Yeah.
answering the question?
What?
The question that was just presented to us all.
Well, as I said, I don't even think my dad knows that I have a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked to my mom about it. She doesn't care, and I don't think either of my parents like approve of how much time I actually spend playing games, because most of my weekend is taken up by playing Xbox games. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then during the summer, I do play a lot more because I have a lot more free time, and I don't really know if they feel happy because I'm sitting upstairs, all day playing Xbox or whatever, but I enjoy it, so.
Do you consider becoming a YouTuber? For real?
I mean, if I did get big enough, then maybe, but it's always a possibility, and I hope maybe one day I can, but
Mm-hmm.
I guess I just have to keep working for it.
Basically. So, Captain Dad, how do your parents feel like with you playing games all the time?
My parents?
Yeah.
They didn't really care too much because I didn't. It was one of those things back then in the 80s that it wasn't as consuming as it is now because of the technology.
Can I ask you
I think my
personal question? It's not personal at all. I mean, it's just a question, actually.
Yeah.
How do you feel when the whole YouTubers thing, gaming YouTubers thing, started becoming a thing? Like,
it's to me, I don't mind it. When my son started playing video games, when he first started, he played them with me. We were playing online games like AVA and Battlefield Heroes and things like that. And it was a bonding experience for us. It was a way that we kind of connected. Some guys take their kids out and they throw a football around, or they go fishing or something. We tried all those things, but it just didn't click. Gaming is what clicked, and that's to me that's what the essence of gaming is about, the camaraderie behind it and everything. So to me, YouTube channels that have these kind of gamings is just another way of building that camaraderie. So you have, there's games that only he can play because they're one person game, like Just Cause 3, but sitting down next to him and watching him do things that he can do. And then I try to do something like just walk and jump and I can't.
Cool.
It's amazing to me that he has the hand-eye coordination and the dexterity to be able to manipulate the controller to have the character do things. And to me, it's just amazing. And then he shows me these YouTube videos of people being able to do things beyond even what he can do. It's mind-blowing to me. So to me, YouTube is just another form of media that you can build that gaming community around. So I'm behind
Cat Dad, I recommend watching some speedrunners play games.
Oh my God.
Dude, that's amazing.
They have a
Bro.
That's simply
Like,
incredible.
Or they do it like in.
What's Speedrunner?
That's basically how you complete a game. It's the fastest you can play a game.
Oh, yeah?
Guys
So-
complete it, like,
Dark Souls 3 speedrunning.
Basically, think of this. There's a guy that can do all of the child dungeons in Ocarina of Time blindfolded.
Well, there's a guy that can finish Ocarina of Time in, I guess, like 5 minutes or something like that.
Well, yeah, but like a glitchless run, someone can do it in like 4 hours.
I guess
It's-
a glitched run for
What
Dark
was the name of
Souls
that
3,
guy?
somebody can beat it in like
the
30
Ocarina of
minutes.
Time main speedrunner.
I'd have to look. I follow him on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't remember him, but he's the one that always have the word record. Anyway, but usually when it comes to speedrunning, I would say that my favorite ones, I guess most of the speedrun communities goes around classic games, usually Nintendo games, Super Nintendo games, or N64 games. And one that in particular I think that is really amazing, and Captain Dad, if you would look at it and probably be really interested in looking into it, would be the Donkey Kong Country speedrunners, because that's simply insane. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, or 3. Imagine beating up those games without dying in a really, really short amount of time. It's amazing.
That would be awesome. I've never actually watched them do that.
It's really, really amazing.
One event I do recommend is Games Done Quick. They do it twice a year. They just had one in July.
HGQ.
Or June. No, it's SGDQ. AGDQ is in the winter.
Yeah, that's Summer Games Done Quick. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so they have 2 events going on, and if you like follow like any of their social media, you'll see when they start and find their schedules. I highly recommend it. It's 7 days, 24 hours a day, and they play games. They have set speedrunners that do through it, and then they take donations, and then they for the Summer Games Done Quick, they give it to MSF, which is Doctors Without Borders. Mm-hmm. Basically, it helps doctors that go and treat people in countries that need help. And then I'm trying to remember what they do in AGDQ. I think it's cancer research that they send the money to, and they've done like $3 million in 7 days and stuff like that. It's crazy.
It's really amazing. I mean, of course, that wasn't exactly the specific kind of gaming that I was referring about, because that's again, I mean, people making money out of games or playing games really well, it's a thing that is not all that recent. But I was referring to the whole YouTuber role as people just playing games and making commentary over it and becoming
like you look at PewDiePie.
That's an example. That's just
50 million subscribers.
Biggest YouTuber in the world.
How do you do that?
I know.
You play games.
But
I mean, how do you get 50 million subscribers? Like,
worked hard. He's been on there for like ever.
Yeah, he's been there since like what, 2010?
Marketing.
2011?
All about marketing, gentlemen.
How do you
Google it?
That's actually a pretty good. That's actually pretty
Google
generic. I mean, how do you think? How do you think?
I mean,
Captain Dad,
how
do you
I market my channel is I go on. It's the stupidest thing ever. I go on to a global chat on Clash of Clans and I ask to go check out my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. It's people then will go, okay, I'll go check out your channel, and then I have that chance of someone going, and that's how I got some of my subscribers is through that.
Yeah,
but if you want more subscribers, you've got to have it across multiple platforms.
Yeah.
You got to have a Twitter feed.
That's
why
I have a
Twitter
Facebook
feed account.
Yo, we should hire CapDad for COA staff. Lol.
Yeah, CapDad, you're hired. You yeah. There's no payment.
You can't afford it.
Yo, I made a Twitter for my YouTube and then it got hacked, and I was just like, all right.
Shit.
Sucks.
Yeah.
So, Captain's Dad, but how do you feel? How do you feel with people like PewDiePie, other people that are just playing games, having that such influence among gaming community and among people in general?
I think it's awesome. I used to watch those videos with my son when he was younger, and we used to have a ball. We'd just be rolling, laughing, and I mean what was that? The wheel one, Crazy Wheels or whatever.
Happy Wheels.
Happy Wheels. Yeah.
They would do Tobuscus. I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
my
watch
God, I remember
Tobuscus all the time. I haven't watched him in forever now, but
his channel's dead.
Is it?
Yeah. He's losing subscribers. Like, nobody really watches him
But he
anymore.
was also a pioneer. He was one of the earlier ones, wasn't he?
He was one of the first guys out there. It was him versus PewDiePie for the longest time for him.
Yeah.
They compete.
He did a lot of Minecraft stuff back a while ago, didn't he?
Well, I can't say I really remember a lot about Tobuscus. So, just so we can conclude, because, gentlemen, believe it or not, it's already 10 p.m. I mean, for me, of course, it's probably like 8 p.m. for you guys. We still haven't go through worst games, which is probably my favorite part in asking people. So, which is your least favorite, or let's be really clear here, the game that you hate the most? starting with, why not Captain, because he probably already answered this question as well.
Tony Hawk Street Fighter Revenge or whatever.
Thank
it's called.
you. Oh,
What?
what did I do? I didn't do anything.
You went into a different
What'd you
voice,
do?
Tim.
Undead Gamer.
I don't know. I don't really hate games. I mean,
Yeah, but you gotta have that one game.
I don't know.
You got nothing? No game that you would say that you didn't enjoy at all, or the game that
I don't know.
Oh man. Okay. Captain Dad.
Just Dance 4.
What? Why?
Stupid.
You used to dance with us.
What do you mean? It's an
You would dance to the One Direction song.
Stupid.
You would
One
dance to the
Direction?
Hey.
Look like an idiot.
Maybe you light up my world like no
One Direction.
Well, what the...
He would dance to that.
Really?
He got
I hated
expert.
it.
He
No,
got
I-
like all 5 stars too.
Oh, that's not hard.
Oh,
But that was a
come
dumb game. I didn't like that one.
on. It was a good. You really don't like it?
I didn't. No, because I'm uncoordinated, like a cross-eyed elf on a lopsided skateboard. I can't do that.
That was the weirdest whatever you try to do there. I don't know.
It's a euphemism.
Euphemism.
Do
The
you have?
80s.
I know. It's like Khan does that.
Is that really your least favorite game or game that you hate the most? Have you got anything else?
Any kind of game where
Mm-hmm.
trying to think of another game that but the ones with the Kinect, I didn't
You didn't like those?
I didn't like those.
I liked them. We played baseball.
The Kinect version was pretty good.
Kinect was awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoy Kinect myself.
Oh,
Okay.
Overcooked.
Okay,
Overcooked?
I
Yes,
didn't
ma'am.
like that.
You didn't like Overcooked?
Well,
Really?
I did, but it
Overcooked.
was intense for that one time. And
We always yell at each other at the end
yeah.
Oh man.
because
Okay,
you.
gentlemen, I'm sorry, but we're kind of running out of time.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we're gonna have to say our goodbyes for the night. But
Aw.
with that, yeah, that's the point where everybody say "aw." With that,
Aw.
I'm gonna finish the podcast tonight. For some reason, Fred Boat's not helping me out. Why isn't it playing the song? Play the song, Fred Boat. Red Boat. What is happening with Red Boat?
It's showing that it's like.
It's just need to. What was? I guess it's like this. Thank you, Fred
Hey.
Boat. Okay, there we go. With that, we're gonna finish the podcast with the One Direction. With the One Direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just Dance 4 music playing in the background.
Screw you guys.
It was so
Please
awesome
don't.
to have you all in here. Could you all say your proper goodbyes, please? Starting.
Salutation. Good day. Good morning.
Okay, gentlemen, it was awesome to have all of you guys in here
Peace
tonight.
out.
Thank you all so much for being in here. Everybody that is
Hey, I
watching,
had fun.
joining us next week at exactly 7 p.m. Central for another Coach podcast. Thank you all so much. See you guys next time, and goodbye for the time being.
Bye.
See ya. Peace out.